Credit cards are not free money, and you should not just be opening any credit account just because. Hi, my name is Remy. Welcome back to my channel. I talk about all things personal finance, saving, investing, budgeting, paying off debts, and I share my journey of paying off high interest student loans of about 21k. So if you're new to this channel, definitely subscribe, like, follow me on Instagram, TikTok. I'm very active on there. I have a website and I have a newsletter where I share small tips and tricks about my life, and also like tips about the financial landscape, what's happening in the economy. So definitely subscribe to that. So today we're going to be talking about credit cards. Now, if you're new to Canada or you're just new to a credit system, you need to know all of these things to make your credit card work for you in your new country. So now this video is for new immigrants, or if you just need a refresher on credit cards and ensuring that you're able to get a high credit score. Now, first of all, what is a credit card? A credit card allows you to borrow money from a financial institution with the hopes that you will pay you back. And so think of it like a super short-term loan, because it's about 30 days or so that you need to pay back. Now, if you do not pay back on time, you're going to end up paying interest. The interest rate for credit cards is about 19% to like 29%. It's super high. So you don't want to be caught wanting and not paying back your credit card balance. One of the prevailing forms of debt that people have is credit card debt, because it's so easy to keep tapping your credit card to purchase things here and there without thinking about, oh my god, I need to pay back. And a lot of people find out that they just wake up one day and they're like, oh my god, I have 10k credit card debt, or oh my god, I have 20k credit card debt. It's not a fun experience to have. So that's why you need to watch this video to prevent that from happening. Now, before we go any deeper, here are some important terms you need to know. One, your credit limits. Now, that's the maximum amount that you can borrow for your credit card. Now, if you're new to the country, they'll mostly give you a credit limit of about 1,000 to 1,500. But as you grow in the country, your income increases, your credit limit increases. Now, for instance, my credit limit across all my credit accounts is about 25k. And that does not mean I'm spending all of that 25k. We're going to touch more on that later. Another thing you need to know is your minimum payment. So your minimum payment is the smallest amount that you're able to pay back every single month. So in the case where you're unable to pay your credit card bill fully at the end of the month, that's minimum payment is the smallest amount that you can pay. I do not recommend that you ever keep a balance on your credit card, but then if you're in that situation, that's the minimum amount you need to pay for that month. Another thing is your statement date. So your statement date is when all of your records and the amounts that you're owing on your credit account is sent to the credit bureau. And so on that day, you receive a statement to say, okay, this is your statement balance. So now in Canada, there's different credit bureaus. The two major ones are TransUnion and Equifax. So I think I already touched on statement balance. So statement balance is the amount that you're owing as at the end of that billing cycle that is sent to the credit bureau. Another key term to know is your due date. So now your statement date is different from your due date. Your statement date is the date that all of the records are sent to the credit bureau, while your due date is the dates that you have to pay up all of the balance by. So now it's possible by your statement dates that you've never paid the balance, which is fine, but ensure that by your due dates you have paid up your credit balance. I think we're already getting deep into this conversation, so let's go to the next section. So why is it even important to build your credit or have a credit card? Because in countries like Canada or other countries that operate on the credit system, having a good credit score is very, very important, and it's very essential for your survival, because you need a good credit to even help you get the type of apartment that you want to live in. If you do not have a good credit, you may not be approved for the type of apartment that you want. You need a credit for even things as a phone bill, starting an internet bill, like literally the basic needs. You need a good credit for that. Also, it's very important for if you plan on buying a house in Canada or whatever country that you live in that operates under a credit system. You need a good credit rate to access good mortgage rates and good mortgage amounts. So definitely having a credit is very, very essential in Canada. And one of the major ways to build a good credit is having a credit card and using it optimally and efficiently. Now, if you're in the market for a credit card and this is your first credit card, here are the tips to help you pick the right one. Number one, look for a credit card that has no annual fee. That means it is free to use. Like, you're not going to be paying $12 per month to use the credit card. It is $0.99, $0 I mean, to use. Number two, look for one that gives you a form of cashback or reward that matches your lifestyle. Now, for instance, when I came to Canada, I got my first credit card with Scotiabank, and that was because I got points to watch movies. I'm a movie fan, like I'm a movie head. I'm constantly in the cinema. And so I got that credit card just because I had access to free movies. And unfortunately for me, I came during COVID, so I had to stock up my points up until after COVID, and I got to watch like almost like 20 movies for free. So definitely pick a card that gives you some form of benefits back and that something that you like. So for you, you can be like, you want points to get free groceries, or you want points for travel, whatever it is that you want. Get a card that matches that lifestyle that you want. Also, ensure that you understand the interest rates and the fees for not paying back the balance for that credit card. Because you're new, it's very easy to make mistakes or like forget to pay your bills on time, even though now there's a lot of automations that can help you prevent that. But then just in case, just understand the fees, the interest rates and charges that you would incur if anything was to happen. Another thing I'll say is that if you're new in Canada, a lot of the big banks offer a lot of promotions for newcomers, and so it's better to start with a credit card from one of the big banks because they give you a lot of promotions or cashback early on. So definitely look for those options. In the next video, I actually recommend some no fee credit cards and like different types of credit cards that you could also get into. So I moved to Canada about 5 years ago and I've been able to achieve an 800 plus credit score. So here are the tips that actually help you achieve that and maintain it. Number one, pay your balance in full. It's very, very important that you pay your balance every single month. Since I started using my credit card, I have not missed the payments. The banks have never made money off of my head, which is very, very important. To pay your balance every single time. Number two is to keep your utilization under 30%. That's what the bank says and the credit bureau says. I like to say keep it under 10%. And so what that means is that you have a credit limit of 1,000. The banks and the credit bureaus are not expecting you to use the exact 1,000 every single month and your statement balance be 1,000. No, they're expecting you to use less than 30%. So they're saying that at the end, when your statement is sent to the credit bureau, the amount on your statement balance should not be more than $300. And I said for my own personal preferences, I would say should not be more than $100. Let's keep that utilization really low. Another important thing to do is to check your credit statements regularly for any errors or mistakes that the credit bureaus may make. There's something about identity theft, and you don't want to be a victim of identity theft. And so ensuring that you check your credit statements regularly to be sure that it's only your record that is on there, nobody else is using your credit card for you. That's very, very important. Another question people tend to ask is, does that mean that I cannot use or purchase large items on my credit card? No, that's not what it means. So for instance, you can, maybe you had to buy a furniture that is $800 and your credit limit is 1,000. Yes, you can buy that furniture for 800, but then ensure that before your statement balance is sent to the credit bureau, so before your statement date. So that's why it's important to know your statement date versus your due date. Before your statement date is sent to the credit bureau, ensure that you've paid back about 500, so the amount left on your statement balance is just 300 or less. My preference is less. I hope that makes sense. And let me know if you have any more questions in the comments. But then that's very important to know. Another thing is to use your credit card. Some people are scared of credit cards, but credit card is just a tool, guys. It's just a tool. Use your credit card. It's not going to bite you. Use it. Just ensure that you pay it on time. Another important thing to help you achieve that 800 score and maintain it is to never close a credit account. That was one mistake I made when I came to Canada. My first credit account, I closed it when I decided to move. And don't, because your credit history matters when it comes to your score and how long you've had your credit card. So even if you stop using a credit card, do not close it. Just like stop using it and let the balance on there be zero. But then continue to use your new credit card, because that credit history, that time also impacts your credit score. So don't close any old credit cards. Yeah. Another important thing is to limit hard checks. So something that you would notice when you come to Canada is that even if when you're trying to get a phone bill or something, they may ask you for a hard check. And so you always need to ask them and be like, does this impact my credit score? If at that point you're fine with it, that's fine. But then you can also ask them that, is there an option where it does not impact my credit score? So I recently had to do that for a bill payment for my internet bill, because I was like, I do not want any credit check on my credit score. It's not every time they give you the options, but it's always good to ask for that. Another thing is, don't just be opening credit cards left, right, center. Like, you need to actually plan to open the credit cards, because every single credit check, hard check that you get impacts your credit score. So for instance, you can see I'm going to open a credit card this year, maybe next year, or after like 12 to 16 months, I can open the next one. You just need to be very mindful of this. How do you even check your credit score? Now, there's so many platforms to check your credit score. There's Credit Karma, there's Borrowwell. I like those two for accurate credit score. Now, both of them use different credit bureaus. So I'll say number one, Borrowwell is the best choice because it uses Equifax. Credit Karma uses TransUnion. So those are two platforms to check your credit score regularly. Anyways, that's everything on credit cards 101. If you found this video useful or helpful, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe, share to all the people that you think who need it, and let me know what other questions you have about credit cards. As I said, I'll be doing a video on credit cards I recommend for new beginners or new immigrants, and just like travel credit cards, all of those as you start to progress. But let me know what questions you have. I'm looking forward to answering them for you. See you guys next time. Bye.